What's up?
Hey,
How are you?
good. I can't complain. Nobody will listen. I'm seeing in the comments that somebody got dumped on with snow. You guys get a lot, did you?
Uh, when I left work today, the way they open up the parking lot is they simply go and push the snow on the side for some reason. I don't know what's wrong with them. Plow the snow forward and push it in the corner somewhere, but no, they simply go ahead and they seem like they're just pushing the snow. And I filmed it because I wanted to show what it was like. In front of my vehicle, there was about 2 feet of snow when I left work. I had snow pretty much up to my knees. But as soon as I got out of there, the way out of the parking lot was perfect. Like there was basically no snow except there's always like an inch on the ground. But um, as soon as I got out of the parking lot until I got about to the first stop, it's like they didn't even pass there. They didn't even plow that way. Then the highway was bad, and when I got in small roads, it was good. So usually it's the opposite. When I saw the highway, I'm like, okay, it's gonna be like really, really bad back home. But actually, it wasn't that bad. And when I got here, I'm guessing we had about like 1 foot of snow. That's it. We're used to so much more. Hi, Matt.
Yeah,
Hello,
we got a
hello,
dust.
Angie's here. Sorry, what?
We got a dusting the day before, and then it poured last night, and then turned to snow this morning. But there's no accumulation. I mean, maybe a eighth of an inch,
Oh yeah, nice. That's pretty much what we
but
got
it's
to here.
snow.
About I'm guessing 10 and 13 inches of snow. For a Friday 13, knock on wood, nothing major happened. So hello Scott, hello Marshall Warden. Thank you very much for being here. Caitlin Family Farmstead, thank you very much for stopping by. Just heading to bed. Thought I'd pop in and say hi though. Awesome. That's I forgot the duck. Jack.
The duck is Jack,
Yeah.
and Lindsay is the raccoon.
Yeah, you guys are going to bed early lately.
You work too much.
Yeah,
It's like your living depends on you working. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah.
yeah. Just hope you guys are fine. Haven't spoken to you in a while, Jack. Glad to see you here. Hope everything is okay. Hello, Lynn. Thank you very much for stopping by. And Angie is back. So, how was everyone's week? Mine was not so bad. Nothing really major happened except my members would know. The subscribers don't know, but my brother got a beautiful baby girl on January 5th, so last Thursday of the previous week. And he asked me to be the godfather again, the godfather for my brother's first daughter, which would be my sister in law's third. And he asked me to be the godfather again, and he asked my future wife to be the godmother. This is kind of the first time we're both, you know, godfather and godmother for the same kid, which is pretty cool. And the baby's
Yeah.
healthy, and it's all we can really ask for.
It's beautiful, beautiful baby.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna see her tomorrow. We're usually having like a Chinese fondue on New Year's Eve, and because she was about to be, she was close to her due date, we decided to postpone. And I mean, my oldest daughter was not here. Um, what's wrong, Lynn?
Oh, no.
Had a bad week?
I know she was having a issue with hydro.
Yeah. Thanks, Angie.
See, I can speak Canadian. I use words like hydro now instead of power company.
Yeah, like I told you the other day, you're like half Canadian now.
Yeah.
Should just give you your citizenship right away and be done with it.
I'll take it. I need a good place to hide my pew-pews. They'll never look there.
So yeah, she was almost due to have the baby. I think her due date was on January 3rd. So we figured we were going to postpone the fondue, Chinese fondue night. Plus, my oldest daughter was gone with her friends. You know, she's 18. She wants to celebrate New Year's with her friend. And my oldest son was gone for a week with his girlfriend. And then I had the third one was gone babysitting for someone else. So we figured, we'll do it some other time, and that other time will be tomorrow night. So tomorrow is family time for New Year's, and I'm gonna bring some quail. I'm gonna probably bring some rabbit. I don't know if I'm gonna put it in the fondue yet, or just keep it for meat pies. But anyway,
I'm sorry. If I mute myself, it's because I have a cat attacking a paper bag.
I know what that feels like. Well, I don't have a cat at the moment, but I used to have one. I know they move a lot. Hello, Roberta's Artistic Adventures. Thank you very much for stopping by. And Darren is here as well. You made it home. Did you travel by plane or did you drive?
I believe he drove. I see his post on Facebook. His
car, right?
His car brush broke, but he said, being a Canadian, I have a hockey stick. He's using a hockey stick.
Yeah, the most Canadian thing ever. I saw a video on Facebook just before we got on. There was this guy asking if the insurance would cover. There were two bull moose fighting in his driveway, and they were hitting on his truck or his car. I don't know what it was. I'm like, I don't know if the insurance would cover that. I hope for him though.
Yeah, maybe not the car insurance, maybe the homeowners. I don't know. That's iffy.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that you would think the insurance would cover, but then again, it's not something that happens too often. So it's always like fine print somewhere.
Yeah,
is where you would get the answer. So he drove 25 minutes from Scott's house. Yes, Darren, we're doing amazing. We started doing more family game nights. Last week we played. I don't know if that's a game the English people would know. In French, we kind of call it Pas d'Ace, where you just have a deck of cards and everyone has one card. And the first person decides if he wants to keep the card or pass it to the person on the right. And the lowest card gets an X. And if you get 5X, you lose. And as soon as if someone has a king, you can't switch with that person. And of course, if someone has an ace, chances are they're going to lose. So it's always a matter of, if I have a 2 in my hands and I switch with you, you're giving me a 2, you're giving me an ace and I'm giving you a 2. Well, you can keep your card because you don't have the lowest card.
Oh.
Which is something that we play for fun. It's just have some fun and laugh kind of game.
Yeah.
But the kids, bad losers. They always get angry. Oh, you're laughing at me. Oh, you're giving me the ace. Oh, you always turn up the king on me. So we decided to play Clue. And since it was their first time, we took time to teach them and try to give them some tricks. But the young ones are struggling a little bit with small details. Hello, Chris and Steph. start doing some family game nights. Played Spike train game. Kids like awesome. Never heard of it, but it's pretty cool. So it's a French game, I guess. It's the kind of game you could also play with a few drinks. You know, you put a shooter on the table. Whoever loses has to take the shooter, or something like that. And at the end of the night, whoever's most drunk obviously loses. That's a good way to see it, Lynn.
Yeah.
Great way to see it. Bad week didn't sound good, but that's a positive way to look at it. Yeah. Has anyone ever played a game called Blockus? A variation of the game, but it's a Tetris and chess-like strategy game. Tetris and chess. Never played it, but that sounds very interesting. It's funny you're talking about chess because I played against my cousin for the last time, like maybe 15 years ago, and he's way better than me. But I beat him just this one game. And I'm like, okay, I retire. Like, I'm done. I'll never play chess again. I retire on top, and that's it. Kings in the corner.
Nope, but a great man once said, "Nobody puts baby in the corner." That was Patrick Swayze. He was a great man. He really was.
Never played that game, NG. Most drunk wins. Yeah, it depends the way you see it. You can
With
just
the
that for a
people,
while, you get really drunk.
yeah, with the people I used to hang out with when I drank, you didn't want to be the most drunk because if you were the one passed out, you would wake up a lot of times permanent marker, and a couple of the guys I wouldn't put past them hiring a tattooist to come in and tattoo something on your face while you're knocked out.
Okay, so you're not home. Yeah, inflation it's crazy right now. Um, my girlfriend was telling the kids today. Usually, she goes to the store like every second or 3 days, and usually for $100, she's paying 140 now.
Yeah.
And we started looking more and more for stuff on sale. Plus, we have the pantry, 3 freezers full, and there are some things that we just won't buy no matter what.
Right. It's nice to have that option. This year I'm trying I'm doing the pantry challenge or the Three Rivers challenge there, and it's hard because I made a schedule. I used Lynn's sheet and I made a schedule of what I was going to eat when. I think I've eaten 3 meals that I was supposed to eat that evening. But sometimes you just don't feel like, okay, I never feel like cooking, but I never feel like preparing food. So I'm doing a lot of warm-ups, which makes for really, you heard it here, folks, boring videos. Yes, let's watch the soup boil.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, Annie's been telling me, like, you should do this and do that. Well, I'm already done that, or it's not something I find interesting. If I put myself in the viewer's position and I'm like, nah, I wouldn't want to watch that. I'm not going to make a video on it.
But it's amazing. It's like, I was talking to Trevor about this the other day, and he says, Tracy, he says, I would never expect anyone to watch a 3-hour video of somebody riding side by side. He says, but I do. And he says there are people out there who will watch a 3-hour video of something you can. They're already watching my life. I mean, somewhere out there's like 760 people interested in what's going on in my life, which basically means that they have very different tastes because I think I'm boring.
Well, I feel the same way about myself. I have over 2,000 subscribers. Um, Lately, I've been getting a little bit over 200 views, but before that, it was, I was struggling to hit 60, 70. And my daughter just started a channel last week. She's got 2 videos with over 300 views on both videos. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I guess she's good when people like it. So that's a game. I think I played it before, but it was so long ago, like I wouldn't remember the rules. But yeah, I remember playing a game called Catan. But if I remember correctly, like it's a pretty complicated game, kind of. But could be wrong. Hello, then by View Range. Thank you very much for stopping by. Krubby the Beagle, Vin Cat. Thank you very much for stopping by. Co-host is Tracy from T-Ham 141 Homestead.
One, the only, thank God, or so my mom says.
Cooking at home does help with the cost, but yeah, it takes time, and you're right. You don't always feel like doing it. And I find, for me personally, and I think it's the problem with everything around my life, I think that's the problem with me having to go to work, is if I have to do something, if I have to, I don't like doing it. I don't want to do it. So if I feel like I have to cook or I have to preserve food or I have to go in the garden or I have to go to work, I hate it.
Yeah.
But if I can wake up in the morning and do whatever I want, if I could just go to work whenever I want, if I could just go and preserve food whenever I want, if I could put it in the fridge and it would stay there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then I could just decide like, okay, today, pressure canning or blanching some carrots or whatever, I would love doing that because sometimes I just don't feel like doing it and I have to, and then it haunts me for the next couple of months, just the way I am. But
Wendy, I think it's a habit I want to get back. I want to get into. Wendy was in it where if she was going to make beef stew, she would make a big pot of beef stew. And then the next morning, we would can it all up. And that's why, that's how I got the venison stew and the beef stew and stuff. And so I think when I get to that point where I feel like, okay, I'm going to make some stew or I've got boiled dinners that are all that we pressure canned that all I have to do is take out and heat them up. They've got the corned beef or whatever already in them. And it's just, it makes it really simple and it's a good idea, but it kind of a lackluster video in my opinion to watch somebody. I mean, with my split pea, I wish you guys could taste it because when you can split pea soup, the flavor goes all the way through everything. But the most interesting part of that section of the video that I saw was I couldn't get it out of the jar because it was so thick.
just bring down that light a little bit. Is that better? I can see my face now. Instant Pot. It's not something that I never use it, but my girlfriend does. So I guess you just put food in it, you leave it there for a few hours, and then tastes awesome. Love your side by side videos. Also enjoy the Branson videos. Yeah, like there's always someone that's gonna like what you do, and I remember, I think it was about a year ago, you said, like now the numbers are higher, but there are some people out there watching you, interested in seeing what you do. And even if it's only our friends that are watching because they want to support us, it's still very, um, I don't know what's the word, but like it's fun. It feels good to know that there's someone out there that cares that much.
Yeah. And I like giving some, apparently between Trevor says that he laughs at my videos. He's either laughing at them or screaming at them. And my daughter, she said, "Yeah, I watched your first pantry video." She says, "You're burnt. You're just done." She says, "You're crazy." And the thing is that's me. That's just who I am. I wasn't
Yeah,
expecting.
same for me. Like I was, like I hit the rock bottom at the end of the fall. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna go at it again next year,
Yeah.
because I can see the difference it makes now, and I feel like the 1,600 and something pounds that I have in my freezers is not enough, because my girlfriend told me yesterday, like, I feel we're always eating the same thing, steak and veggies or chicken and veggies, and it's like always the same thing. So next year I have to grow more, probably more tomatoes, so we can do more salsa, more spaghetti sauce. We still have some in the freezer though. Like we need to go and get something done with that. I will bring some roast to my mom. She will cook me some delicious meat pies. That's going to be great.
Yeah, you got to change it up. I remember when Wendy and I first got together, our Venzen, we always cut the thin medallion type steaks and and just Venzen and onions, steak and onions. And after a while, I just didn't want to eat Venzen. And then Wendy said, "Well, let me try something." And she started country frying them and uh, doing like a back strap as a back strap. I to me it was blasphemy. You backstrap a steak, man. But like she would bind it up and season it up and cook it in the oven, and oh my goodness. And I got my taste back for Venzen.
Yeah, just switch it up a little bit, and sometimes it's all you need. Hello, Dave, eating some homegrown peanuts. That's awesome. We don't have seasons long enough here to grow peanuts, but you brought some last year at the conference, and it was pretty cool. I didn't even know that it was something growing in the ground, somewhat like potatoes, until you told me last year. For me, it was something that was growing in the trees, like hazelnut or something like that.
Oh, that's a peanut there. Okay. It's a peanut.
Yeah, you don't see the peanut. It even has the peanut.
Yeah, I see it. I just couldn't tell what it was. I've the my both of my screens up, and I like having this up because I'm a moderator on your channel, so I can just click on the dots and go like the Denbing View Ranch there. I just subbed to them while we were talking, um, and because I get more ideas of who to sub to because there's so much out there.
Yeah,
That
and Lynn's right. Preparing is a key. You get your stuff ready on Sunday. Majority of your ingredients makes it really easier. The thing is, my girlfriend keeps telling me like prepare your lunch for work the night before, but I'm not gonna do that. Don't even bother. Like I'm gonna get up in the morning. I won't have any idea what to eat. There won't be anything ready, and I'll just be like, okay, I need something to eat. I'm just gonna take the first thing I see, and that's gonna be it. If I have to decide the previous day, like it's not gonna work.
I'm happy when I get hungry and I'm like, oh wow, I took hamburger out of the freezer so I can do this. you know,
You never know who's watching. There was one particular YouTuber I connected with before I was a YouTuber who inspired me in the biggest way. She's a huge reason I took the leap to move out here. Awesome. Um, If I could see that person right now, I would say thank you because you guys are doing great and you're amazing people, and I am blessed to have you as friends now.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you have your answer by now, Venkat. That's Tracy from Hand 141. So this is your neighbor. Okay.
Oh,
I follow so many people. At some point, I forget who's who.
yeah.
Homesteading being a catch-all in the YouTube world is just not always super popular, but like other topics, doesn't mean it is not more important though.
Oh,
Yeah, um, totally right. I mean, there's someone's gonna watch whatever you do. If you talk about tomatoes, someone out there wants to learn about tomatoes. If you're talking about chickens, someone out there wants to know about chickens. And I don't want to like sound bad about other bigger channel, but some people are like us, and they want to learn from people like us.
mhm.
They want to learn simple tricks from people that don't have a million subscribers and the thousands and thousands of dollars in the bank account to do stuff that those watchers can't do because they don't have that kind of money.
Right. That was a big thing when I bought the tractor. I'm like, boy, is this
I
going to
agree.
disassociate people from, because a lot of people can't just, well, I didn't just go out. I shifted a lot of my finances around and over time to get the tractor. But that was something I worried about. But she's right. You never know who's watching. It was um I don't know, 10 years ago or so, I was watching a YouTube video and somebody said, just get chickens. They're easy to take care of. This is how you take care of chickens. And I got that in my head. Hey, they're easy to take care of. Next thing you know, I had chickens. Next thing you know, I had bees. And we had been gardening and canning and stuff for years. And then we're like, wait, we need more room. Next thing you know, we're on a 20-acre homestead. And it all started with some YouTuber saying, chickens are easy. Just do it and take care of your animals. It's uh, made a big difference.
And it's crazy because you're talking about how you started, and Angie was saying how she started.
Yeah.
To me, it was just, I was trying to do a garden and it was just not working out. And I read and I read and I read and I watched videos and videos and videos. And then suddenly my garden was not doing so bad anymore. And I was watching a bunch of YouTube videos about people making garden tours, and it was just like, okay, a lot of people are doing tours, so I'm just going to go and do the same thing. And
Mhm.
the first video I made myself was a garden tour of my garden, and there wasn't really like anything specific. It was just talking about my garden. um, of course, I had a few videos of my kids doing stuff for school that I ended up putting on YouTube before, but um, that's how I started. And then I realized, okay, like I was doing French videos, and I'm like, okay, if I want to get really out there and get people to watch me, I have to go and reach them out. And by speaking English, it was a little bit easier for me, I guess. And I'm glad I did because I met some amazing people along the way, and we have a nice community now, and it's fun.
Yeah.
And that's true also, Hickory, Chris, and Steph. It might take more time the first time you do it, but it's going to save some time in the long run. And then you might have time to do something else, either in the garden or, preserve food in another way, or true. We do whole chickens from frozen in our Instapot. I really should do a video on it, but quick and easy and requires very little time, 15 minutes. Cool. I usually cook frozen chickens as well. I just put the oven a little bit higher, and as long as it's covered, I don't know. That's the way I've always done it, so it's doable. 40 minutes done cooking. Okay. Live with Linda and Chuck. Thank you very much for being here.
Chuck.
Hey, my last green peppers picked 6 weeks ago tonight in the stir fry. 6 weeks ago. That would bring us beginning of December.
He's got a beautiful greenhouse.
Yeah.
And I'm beginning to think a green thumb.
Yeah. I'm glad he started this channel. I actually have it open right there. The whole channel. I'm going to watch videos. I'm kind of a little bit behind Dave, but I will catch up. I promise. It's not like they're long videos. It's just a matter of sitting down here and watching them because you have a few videos. I want to learn. I mean, you're a different generation than I am, a little bit older than me, and you definitely have some stuff to teach me. So I will definitely be following you. Lynn liked your pantry video.
Thank you.
True, Angie.
Wow.
And yes, Lynn, I think that's what makes us like real.
Mm-hmm.
We don't always succeed. I don't necessarily show everything I'm not good at, but I'm not ashamed of saying it.
Yeah.
This year I was struggling with my radishes. It is what it is.
Well, yeah, it's a learning experience. This whole, you don't just say, okay, I'm gonna homestead, and next thing you know, you're taking from your garden and filling your pantry. It's okay, I'm gonna homestead, and then there's a learning process for each individual new thing you try. Each individual cultivar of bean sometimes has a learning curve to it. It if I didn't show my failures, I wouldn't have much of a channel. And some of those are my best videos. To be honest, I enjoy showing my. I wish I could bump my head more often, but I won't fake it.
It's funny because I have a video from last year about this time of year where I was snowshoeing in the back of my property trying to find out what the tracks on my property were, and I ended up walking on a spruce somewhere and like went deep down in the snow with a tree that the kids were playing with. They cut the tree, and it was just like a spike coming out, and I couldn't see it in the snow, and like it hit me like in the back, in the lower back, and it really hurt. And I'm like, okay, well, that should give me a lot of views because I'm really hurting myself. But it's not the one that worked the most. I don't know. Yeah, and the funny thing, Chris and Steph, is that we pretty much started at the same time. We started following each other. We were pretty much at the same amount of subscribers, but you guys went like way up there, and I'm about 1,000 subscribers behind you now.
The information value that they put out is just, it blows my mind. They're both like walking encyclopedias. I mean, you
Yeah,
ask
that's
them
what
a question about something and they can just.
Yep. And you know that there are people that they're fun to be around. They're funny. They're so much knowledge. We visited their homestead last year, and it was like everything they was showing us. It was just like, wow, cool. I want to do that at some point in my life. True. Yeah. True. By being smaller channels, um, we what we do is more. Uh, what's the word? Um, Not legit, but true. It's like,
It's more on course, I think.
yeah,
You know, I notice And I think I commented on one of Doug and Stacy's videos. He got back into some more homestead topics and stuff, and I told him, I said, "Man, you look so much more relaxed, so much happier," because it is so easy to get sidetracked on, hey, eggs are $10 a carton or whatever, and that's important. We need people bringing that stuff up, but man, I'm so much happier when I don't watch the news or go shopping. When I stay at the homestead, I'm just so much happier.
Yeah, exactly. And like we need to buy the animals feed,
Mm-hmm.
which is not fun, but because that's going up too. Um, but yeah, being home, um, away from everything, especially like if I go in the woods and go for a walk in the middle of nowhere, there's no better feeling. And I was reading an article about that yesterday, where they did a few experiments where they noticed that people that spend more time in the wilderness or away from the society tend to have more tend to be more relaxed,
Mm-hmm.
and it helps their brain to be well, basically they're more intelligent.
Yeah.
they, their brain works better.
Yeah. I'll buy that for $1.
Thank you very much for being here. First time I see you here. Awesome. Thank you very much for stopping by. Eric and Monica, thank you very much. Eric and Monica, right? Thank you very much for being here. Oh, hello. How you mentioned even different cultures of beings are different, Tracy. That's something people don't think about or appreciate as much as they should as part of learning process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And going that way, I find that the more you try different things, the more you learn, the more you know what you want,
Mm-hmm.
and the more efficient you can be on your own homestead. Because I've been growing burgundy and purple beans and black beans and yellow beans, green beans. Turns out that the ones that we eat the most here are the yellow beans. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of pointless to go and grow all kind of different beans. We don't mind the green beans, and I find they get bigger faster. So this is a variety we're gonna grow as well. But beside green and yellow, I don't think we'll bother about the other ones.
Yeah.
Uh, it's funny. And if we don't know, we will say we don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I see that a lot. Yep, genuine. That's the word I was looking for.
Well, the thing is I've worked in youth ministry for almost 30 years, and kids can smell a lie like a fart in the car, man. It's just, and I believe the viewers are the same way. If I were to put on airs, if I were to to practice and rehearse, I think they would tell that. Now I do a lot of editing, and sometimes I get upset because my editing seems like it skips, but a lot of times I just take out the uhs
Yep.
because I say that a lot.
Um, mm, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see some in my videos, and I cut like 90% of them. So imagine.
Yeah. Nightly.
Yeah. Take care, Lynn. I saw on the page there. Yeah. This week felt like a long week. Bit rough wise. I don't know if it's because the last 2 3 weeks were only like shorter weeks for 3 4 days week. But yeah, I found this week was a little bit harder as well. When you get out, you finish your day, and you're like, I feel like I didn't do anything, but it didn't stop. It's like everything that you need to do on your desk stayed the same way, but it's just like one problem after another, and that happens sometimes, and it's a weird feeling. I learned today that bananas are berries. Imagine that.
Oh, bananas aren't actually berries or fruits. You didn't know this? Oh, let me educate you. Bananas are dead spiders because what happens is when the spider will hang from a branch and it will die, and its legs, it's a really long legs, they'll fold down, and then this fungus covers them, and then the peel is actually the protective layer of the fungus. If you don't believe me, cut a slice out of your banana and look at it, and you can see the black holes. uh you can see the black things where the spider legs were. I'm totally lying to you. It was a joke I heard once that some older kids told their son because they want or told their brother because they wanted the last banana, and he wouldn't eat bananas for years after that.
Hey, I have 16 people watching. That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't even know what to talk about anymore. I'm. I need to buy a new calendar. This one is from 2022, and I like having a calendar there because I write everything that's about to happen. Like if I have a live stream, if I am a guest on someone's live stream, I write it there, and whenever I come in my computer room, I see what I have to do. And talking about schedule, I will not be on next Friday. I am actually going to a tropical rally. I don't know if that's a thing in English. Um, we basically have teams of four. It's like $5 each, and they ask us a bunch of questions, and we're not allowed to use our cell phones and stuff like that. Uh, whoever has the more right answers wins at the end of the night. So they might ask questions about religions, about politics, about health, about sports, about anything, astronomy, geometry, geography, all that kind of stuff. And if you get the answer, you get points. And it's something that happens once in a while. We go there and sometimes you don't have the answer, and it's funny that the answers that people are giving. Um, it would be nice to have you on my team, Tracy, because I know you're a little bit deeper in the religious side than I am. Um,
Hmm.
Last time I went to one of those things, there was a question asking about, I think it was the family name of Jesus' mother, which I didn't know, or something like
um,
that. Anyway, it was like, okay, like I don't know.
does the Bible tell?
I don't know.
I'm not sure if the Bible tells a family name but she was in the line of David, and so was Joseph, because Jesus got his blood right to the throne of David through Mary, and his legal right through his stepfather Joseph. But man, I don't know that one.
And then they ask a question like, who were the NHL coaches from all the seven Canadian NHL teams? And it's like, I was there for that specific reasons to answer those sports questions, and I blanked out. I failed my team. I didn't even know. And I'm like, I can draw the guy's face. I just can't remember the name. Oh,
Yeah.
that's it's just for fun, really, because I think the profit goes to I don't know who, and we'll have a few drinks and be with friends and have fun. And then the next week, I will be live twice on my regular Friday on the 27th and also on January 25th. January 25th is the day of mental illness. It's something that Bell phone company
Mhm.
sponsors called Let's Talk, or Bell Let's Talk. And it's basically like you just need to talk about mental illnesses. And I figure with everything that happened to me before Christmas, with my mental issues I had, it would be a good time to talk about that. So
Mhm.
I will invite anyone, if anyone's in the chat and wants to join me on that night to talk about anything, whether it's you, a friend, or someone you want to talk about it. Just let me know and we can get that done. I learned that from. Okay, I don't know what that was.
About the bananas, I believe it was.
Okay, okay. Jesse and I are looking at possibly booking an Alaskan cruise. Lots of time saved. Awesome. Don't know if I'll be home by the time you guys go live, but if I'm home, I'll try to reach out to you guys.
Oh my goodness, get a bunch of.
Yeah, Chris and Steph would definitely be good at this game. Why don't you come over, guys? You have a week to travel. Come over and group cruise. Yeah, it would be fun.
It
Hello,
would be.
Glenda. Thank you very much for stopping by. I'm a shining star. Why?
For trying to make it home for his live.
Yeah, it's all going to depend. Like, I mean, it's family time, right? I
You-
always say family comes first,
Yeah.
but I have a second family now on YouTube.
Yeah.
Um,
You know the best thing about going to things like if you went on a cruise with a bunch of YouTubers, or if you went like to the homesteading conference, uh you get memories that you record through pictures and video, but then there's going to be like everybody's going to have videos coming out of your vacation,
yeah,
and you get all their memories too.
yeah. So it is a good thing because you get other people's point of view on the
Yeah.
event. But then it might not be such a good thing if you do something awful because you got every camera on you.
Yeah, if
you know,
if you're if you're going to do something awful, make sure it breaks community standards. So they can't
yeah.
show it.
Uh, it's like I was, when we were talking about my wedding coming in 2025. And Magdalena was like, well, you don't need to worry about a cameraman or a camera girl because everyone's going to be a YouTuber. Everyone's going to have a camera there. So we got you covered. Meet up by the sea in Alaska? That's kind of a long trip. Hello, Glenn and Jessica. I don't know if you're both there. Thank you very much for stopping by. I know you guys. You guys go live during the day. It's kind of difficult for me. I'm sorry. If I'm off, I'm home. Um, I try to support as many people as I can. During the day, it's just very, very hard for me. At work, we're not allowed to be on the social medias, obviously, and it makes it harder. The both of us, Linda, that would highlight us, not everyone. Not for me. Hello, Glenn. Gathered. I think they focus on the dog. Okay, for the month in September and October, I traveled 3 miles through Kentucky, Tennessee,
Wow,
Arizona, Oklahoma.
that would be fun.
100 YouTubers. Wow, nice.
Yeah, they're always talking about meetups and stuff everywhere. But like all like the North American Homesteading Conference and stuff like that, they're just so far away. I mean, or seem far away. I have to go to Canada to get to a close homesteading conference.
Well, it's all right.
That's
We
only
already
3
told you
hours
we're
away.
adopting you. Teasing each other. Um, Glenn and Jessica, I was kind of scared that I might have missed a few of your videos, but it's been 3 months since your last video. I'm just hoping you guys are okay. Okay, there you go. We haven't done anything in a few months, just been busy and felt like YouTube was driving us instead of what really matters, like our faith and family. Yeah. Okay, well, I got scared for a second because I'm like, okay, did I miss some videos? Um, but you guys are great. You take your time when you feel like it. You come back if you do, and I know what you mean because I've been kind of lazy lately as well. Have a video that came out this morning that was filmed last week. Uh, I mean, it took a while to get it out there, and I have another one filmed today about that snowstorm I simply filmed when I got out of work, just to show people that what it's like living in Canada. It was so awesome. Two of the places I met up with most were Grand Rivers in Kentucky, and yes, you're an honorary Canadian.
Think I'm gonna make me a shirt that says that.
You should. It's gonna be awesome. Like last year at the conference, it was like the first time we got to meet everyone, and it felt like we've known each other forever. And it was just like, okay, seeing people again.
Yeah.
Like I didn't feel when I saw everyone that it was like, oh, it's kind of awkward. No, I've never. No, it was just like I got at Darren's place. He's like, hey guys, come on in, set up your stuff. I'll go show you the place. And it's like, okay, like well, it's like we knew him already. And then we got at Angie's place and we laughed and had some fun and talked and had some delicious lasagna. And, it's everybody knew each other already. It's kind of cool.
Sorry, I just read James's comment about the Yoopers being more Canadian than most Canadians. Oh,
Hello, James. Yes, make that shirt and wear it when you come to Canada. Honorary Canadian.
As long as they won't stop me at the border. Yeah, I will. As I'm not going to get arrested at the border for impersonating a Canadian, that would be bad.
Can you imagine?
It's funny. I didn't think they were going to give me my enhanced driver's license so that I could get back into the States. Getting into Canada, I know I can get into Canada. It's getting back in the States that I worry about. But yeah, I'm gonna have to make that shirt honorary Canadian. And is the maple leaf copyrighted? The red maple leaf?
Yeah. And yes, meeting up with YouTubers. I don't know if it's because we think the same way, or I think in our case it's because we were talking to each other for a long time. And I feel like it's going to be the same thing when we meet you for the first time, Tracy. It's like I've been talking to you for like at least a year where we talk pretty much 5-6 times a week.
Yeah.
It's going to be like we've known each other forever. Copyrighted and design patents don't matter for personal use items.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm worried about the stickers I had made up. I got thinking I had stickers made up to give out just to get my channel name out there. If I have any left, I keep handing them out here. But to hand out at the conference, and I'm like, well, gee whiz, I can't really sell anything because, well, there's taxes and tariffs and all that nonsense at the border, and so I might give
Yeah,
away a few
you
shirts
would
or
have
something.
all that in Canadian money, and then you have to lose half of it by transferring it to American money. And
Oh no, if I get a loony, I'm keeping it.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I love the loonies. They were so back last time I went to Canada. I think I still have a couple loonies.
I'll make
They're
sure
the
to have one for you. But if anything happens, that you bring some stuff and you're afraid to cross the borders with Canadian money or whatever, like we can send you a knee transfer and we'll figure it out.
yeah,
Always a way to fix it.
yeah,
I think it's going to be great though.
yeah,
It's coming fast. 5 months,
yeah.
4 months, 4 months from now.
I told Trevor that I said, yeah, I said they're gonna have me speaking. And he says, what are you speaking on? I said, well, do it yourself off grid systems, power and water. He says, have they watched any of your videos? He said, yeah. He says, and they still want you to speak.
Well, I think it's nice to have different kind of subjects and different kind of like last year we were just doing the round table, which is nice because I've never considered myself as a funny guy, and I made people laugh the whole time. Um, the four of us together, like I said, there's a chemistry there, and it's so much fun. And there was someone talking about honeybees, I think, and someone talking about um, comfrey, and someone else was talking about I don't quite remember, but I mean, someone goes there to talk about off-grid stuff, and someone would go there and talk about goats, and someone would go there and talk about something like I mean, you get a lot of information. It's just fun to hear.
Yeah. And I can see in the next couple of years it expanding to the whole weekend too, because I think they've already got like 5 speakers and figure 45 minutes to an hour per speaker, and then um, time to change everything up and get the new people settled for the next or what, however it works. I can see it going to a full weekend and stuff. A really big event here in the future.
So you're gonna be there, guys. I think I met you guys last year, though, if I'm not mistaken. You were there at some point at Mike and Angie's place, if I'm not mistaken. And yes, it was great. It was so much fun. Like I still think about it and I have the chills just thinking about how much fun I had the whole week. Um, it's a Eastern Ontario Homesteading Conference, which is basically like last year was the first Canadian homesteaders conference, and a lot of people from, well, I came from New Brunswick, some people from Quebec, and it ended up being some sort of a YouTubers meetup kind of thing, but it's a conference about homesteading stuff, and it's in a small place called McDonald's Corner. Um, Chris would know a little bit more. Chris or Steph would know a little bit more exactly where it is, but I
I'm
think it's about what 3 hours away from you, Tracy.
3.5 about.
3.5
It's
hours.
I'm putting the address in now because I had it for my live stream. Cameron's
So if
Road.
you're in Michigan, it might be maybe an hour or two, depending where you are. Okay, so
McDonald's
it's between
Corner.
Ottawa and Kingston.
KOG1M. And I apologize if I'm not used to like your zip codes. So if I put a space where there shouldn't be one,
I think it's 3 characters, space, 3 characters, but sometimes on different websites, it's just simply 6 altogether. See, Scott, I can grow carrots easily. Um, I harvested about 15, 20 pounds of radishes 2 years ago. Last year, I struggled with cucumbers and radishes. Carrots, I still have some in the garden. I didn't even have time to harvest everything. So we should make a trade. I am outfitting my van for better for spring. Awesome. And you'll be sleeping in your van again, Dave? Or um, I don't know what's going to happen yet. I don't want to say anything that I'm not supposed to, but we'll talk again, Dave. There's going to be something going on that you might want to be part of. It's not crazy far. Okay, awesome.
No, I think Remy, you have how many hours that it's going to take you to get there?
It took me last year about 6 hours to get to Darren's place, and another 6 hours from Darren's place to the conference. But I think if I went straight, it'd be something like 11 hours, maybe,
Wow.
because I think it's about an hour from Ottawa, and I'm about I'm about 9 and a half, 10 hours from Ottawa if I go straight. So Tracy shared the address.
Yeah.
Yes, Scott. I hope you're going to be there this year. Funny thing, last year Scott was coming over in my part of the world to meet to go see his mother-in-law, because his wife is actually from here, and I was going to the conference. But luckily, we got to see each other after I got back. We went out for supper, and it was nice. Scott is a very, very nice person. My carrots were almost completely babies this year. Had a late frost.
Zone 1? Wow.
Wow. I'm zone 4B, which I find hard. Zone 1, wow.
Do you ever have grass, or is it just snow all year long?
I'm guessing you have a short season. Like, my guess would be you have snow until the beginning of June. You have your last frost around the 20th, and then first frost at the end of August. 8 hours for me getting through Toronto is a wild card. Too cheap to take 407. Well, 8 hours is easily done in one day.
I'm sorry. 8 hours, yeah. You could even do it in a work day.
Yeah, it's just because Angie's saying triggers driving at night. Okay, I get it now. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
No, that's all right.
You save the traffic. I just saw like driving at night. I'm like, okay, if you don't want, like, okay, well, you're not gonna drive at night, but yeah. Still almost close. Of course, awesome, Scott. It's gonna be great.
Sweet.
Getting through the GTA is always the worst part. It's why Southern and Eastern Ontario feel like different countries sometimes.
I watched a video that said that there's like 90% of Ontario of Canadians live like really close to the United States border. And then they went down and you got down to like 70%, and it was still, really, it was really close to the border still. I mean, but if you think about it, man, Canada has some rough territory.
Yeah, I think that we have like 90% of the population living in like 10% of the country or
Yeah.
something like that. If you go up north, I mean, it's snow and ice and snow. Yeah, almost all of
Yeah.
Canada's population lives further south than Michigan.
Well, I used to think it was Manitoba in the Moonlight, but it's Jeff Daniels has a movie, something. It's in the Upper Peninsula. It is the most hilarious movie I've ever seen in my life. It's about hunting too. So, Young Street. Hey, Melissa.
Hi, Melissa. Sorry, I'm eating chips. Tonight's show presented to you by Ruffles.
That's where you get all your money from. Okay.
Yep. Until they sue me for using their name. But I just want to say they're
Free
good shit.
advertisement.
How are you, Melissa? Snow gone usually in May, sometimes snow by October, but this year winter was late.
Well, that sounds like me.
Yeah.
At the end of May is safe planning outside for me, and September, October is
when you have to pick up your stuff.
Yeah.
See, my last frost date last year was May 28th. This year I looked it up and it's May 31st. And usually my official first frost date would be, I think it's around September 15th.
Have a good one there, Denby.
Awesome. Thank you very much for stopping by.
Yes.
400, 427. I'm guessing talking about roads.
I have decided that after I get my barn built, I'm going to start saving up to actually build a greenhouse out of lumber and the clear polymer sheets or whatever it is, the corrugated. It looks like sheet metal, but it's clear plastic.
I think if I could grow one vegetable from like Florida or zone 9, 10, it would probably be bananas. I hope everyone is well and had a good week. My husband hit a cow with our Suburban total. Okay. Well, glad he's okay.
Yeah.
A cow in the road? I'm a slow typer. No worries. Start planning June 15th. Still chance of frost, though. Yeah, same here. Like, the almanac says last frost day will be May 31st, but it can still go until June 10, June 15 sometimes. If you talk about the old fellas around here, they'll say never plant anything before June 15. But I find that anything that goes in the ground, in the soil, can be planted before that.
Yeah. I'm hoping my carrots survived the winter. I never harvested them, and they're in a 55-gallon barrel. I cut it in thirds,
Okay.
and so the sides are exposed to, you know,
Nicole.
yeah, but well, they were looking good. I just never harvested them, and then we had a frost. I'm like, I need to harvest those now that we've had a frost because root vegetables seem to get sweeter after a frost, and
Yeah.
never did.
Well, it should be all right. I did that last year. I harvested some carrots in the spring. The only problem was that I had some mice issues in my garden, and about 70% maybe of my carrots were gone. The cow was in the road. It was dark, and the cow was black. Oh, that sucks. Miracle fruit is what I would grow. Miracle fruit? What is that?
Any fruit that I grow is a miracle fruit if it comes out.
If I succeed in anything, it's a miracle. If you hit a cow, you could be liable and have to pay for the cow. Oh yeah, really? Here in Canada, the owner of the cow would be responsible.
Yeah, same here in New York, I believe. I was watching a video. I think it was on a YouTube short the other day. There was this cow just standing at the on the sidewalk by right in front of a crosswalk, and it just stood there. Cars would slow down because they'd see it, and they'd go past. It waits for its owner every day to come get it to take it into milk, and its owner has to walk it across the road.
So that's a very, very late answer, Scott. Uh, it might have been another question, but it was something like that. Like it's like, okay, like unless you're really, really, really deep into religions, there is no way you could have known the answer to that. And the thing is, you get there, you're a bunch of, you know, people in their 20s, 30s on the team. And then you have those people in their 70s, and you're like, okay, we're going to win this because, we're young and we are on the internet 24/7 and we learn about all that kind of stuff. And then they come out with those questions, and it's just like, ooh, we're in trouble.
Oh wow. Yeah. Well, you think of like Mary Magdalene. That Magdalene was literally her last name, but she was from Magdalene. It was literally Mary from Magdalene, or Jesus of Nazareth. It's uh it,
From the southern states, it's a berry, but it turns sour food sweet. You eat the berry first and eat a pickle or lemon. All you taste. Nice.
wow, that would be awesome.
Yep. Next Wednesday. No, on the 25th of January. It's the Bell Let's Talk Mental Health Day. And I've never heard of that berry either.
No, I'd eat one before I drank my coffee, and then I wouldn't have to put sugar in my coffee.
Yeah, true. You wish you were here for that, for what? For the Mental Health Day? You can come on up and talk with me if you want, Scott, if that's what you're talking about. I got nothing to hide. I mean, I'm an open book. I know there's a lot of stigmas about mental health issues, but I'm not ashamed. I'm not afraid, and you know, stuff happens. My sister, who lives in Florida, grows them. She introduced me to them.
Salt,
Awesome.
baking soda. That I'm gonna have to try that. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Uh oh yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that.
Salt or baking soda. Hmm. Weird. I don't know. I don't know if I would try that. Well, I would probably try. I don't know if I would like it.
Right.
When you get at the last few sips of your coffee, and that's where the most sugar is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
Mhm.
That's the best part of the
And when
coffee.
you get when you get the mix, just because in the winter, because I'm running my generator right now, just to put a little charge on the batteries because they're lithium, and when they get down to about 12.5, they tend to go fast, and I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night to bells and whistles going off. So I'm running the generator, but in the winter I do instant coffee, where you use a tea kettle to heat the water and then mix the coffee in it. And um, when you get that perfect mix of coffee, sugar, and cream, it is just heaven.
Nice.
I love you, Dave.
Whole cream. Put salt, pepper in my coffee. Weird. And you're right, James. Better talk and seek help than ignore it.
Absolutely.
Salt and pepper in your coffee?
No, it's saltpeter.
Oh, saltpeter.
Yeah, saltpeter in basic training, they used to put it in our food. It's supposed to keep men from being able to become aroused. It doesn't work. Because after 8 weeks of basic training, when they gave us our first pass there after 3 or 4 weeks, the first woman we saw, didn't matter if she looked like a bulldog, man.
It reminds me of I don't know if anyone here has ever watched a TV show, How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
And it's like when Barney Stinson is talking to his friends about how it works when they go at sea. You know, the pirates, and at some point he's like, it's the siren effect. You look at anyone, if you haven't seen people for a while, and they look just like goddess, you know, and
Yeah.
it's funny. Whole cream in my coffee, and I'm good. You know, I take 2 milk and 3 sugars.
Yeah.
Saltpeter in my black tea, but not coffee. I don't put anything in my tea.
I put sugar and cream in my tea, except for my echinacea and elderberry mix that I got. Sometimes I'll drink that with just a pinch of sugar, just to take
Okay.
away.
There's someone selling twigs of elderberries around here, and I'm wondering if I should buy some because I'm not sure how to grow them. I'm not sure if they would have time to grow before, if I ever decide to move.
MB Heritage Homestead has a couple videos on propagating elderberry. If they are American elderberry, I would do it.
Okay.
I clipped because American elderberry you can eat right off the branch, and you got to spit out the pit. But then the other types of elderberry you have to boil or cook down in order to make it safe for consumption. But I just cut off shoots about that long, and I put them in about a foot long. I put them in water. I think it was just water, if I remember right. And in a couple weeks, they they start sprouting roots.
Take care, Scott, and thank you very much for being here. I will go shortly either. A little bit of honey in my tea. Yeah, honey is something that I would put in a tea, depending on what it is. What was it? I think it was mint tea that I would put honey. Yeah, chamomile also. I don't know. It gives a lot of good benefits. I find.
Yeah, I got to get my bees going again because that was awesome when I could put honey in my coffee and use that as a sweetener. Now I guess I could use maple syrup, but that actually flavors the coffee different. Honey sweetens it, but the maple kind of flavors it too.
Yeah, it is good though.
Yeah.
We do have some maple syrup flavored coffee around here. That's one of my favorite. Yeah, so Angie's saying I should definitely get some. I'll see if I can find a post on Facebook again on the marketplace. Try to start a meetup in Syracuse, but I had no support.
Yeah. It's hard to get anything going. Um, if you want actual support from the town of Syracuse or the city of Syracuse, however you want to call it, you've got to do stuff on a big scale.
We have wild elderberries to forage, but berries last year didn't ripen before we frosted again, hoping for better foraging this year.
Well, that's where I got mine. Is I have wild elderberry. It is so amazing. I've been so blessed because we cleared this from a wood lot, and in my yard I have heel all. I have well, everybody gets plantain, but um, I've got all this medicinal stuff, and then I'm looking, and I'm like, wait a minute, that looks like an elderberry tree, but I don't know which type of elderberry it is. Is it the kind you have to boil before you eat, or is it the kind that's safe? And I don't. I bought a
Take
big
chances.
uh, packet of dried elderberries from Mountain Rose Herbs, and that's what I make my cough syrup and stuff with.
I've heard about the cinnamon, but I do have rooting hormones.
They say willow water and honey water. You put a little honey water, honey in the water that you put the plants or the sticks in, and it can help it produce roots.
And yes, welcome, Lewis. And also, yes, maple syrup makes everything better. Um, Whenever I go to a
Hi,
restaurant
Jamie.
where I can eat breakfast, um, if there's anything about maple bacon, something at Tim Hortons, or even at the little restaurant where my daughter works, maple bacon croissant. Oh, it's so good.
Uh, yeah, my grandkids won't eat store bought maple syrup anymore. They just love the homemade maple syrup.
Yeah, well, anything homemade is always better, and maple
Yeah.
syrup is. Hello and guess goodbye. I didn't see you before. I'm sorry if I missed you. Well, I've been on for about an hour and a half, and I'm fine. You're talking to a loony now, Tracy.
I'm what?
Talking to a loony.
Yeah. Yeah, but he won't fit in my pocket.
I've taken elderberry branches broken off from a storm 2 days prior and planted them in the ground in the shade and watered them daily, and they thrive. And
Oh,
second
nice.
year, they produce berries. Second year, really? Nice. I heard you could do the same thing with plum trees. Just take the branches and plant it straight in the soil. Uh, but I don't know if that would really work. I transplanted 3 trees last year, and only 2 of them took off. So I'll see in the spring if the third one really died or if it's going to come back.
They say you can do that with weeping willow too. You just stick the branch in the mud in a wet area. But
Yeah.
I've never had any luck with it.
I also want to transplant some rose trees. Selge has a lot on his property. I took a branch last year hoping to transplant it, but snow came and it's still buried in the snow somewhere. So I'm guessing it won't survive.
Yeah.
But I would love to have rose hip jelly and stuff like that, like a something I would like doing. It doesn't taste good by itself, but apparently the jelly is delicious. I think take off branches for nothing, just stuck them in the ground. Awesome. Okay. I heard also you could do that with what I don't remember what kind of grapes it is, but I did that like 10 times and still nothing is growing. So I don't know if you tell me that it's hard to kill a certain type of plants, ask me how and I will tell you how to kill it. I'm good at that usually. Ours hold as a parent tree.
Yeah,
Nice.
I know with apple trees, they say if you have a young apple tree and you graft in a branch from an older tree, that branch can start develop producing fruit before the rest of the tree.
Hmm. Awesome. All right. Good night, Scott.
Hey, Scott.
Passion flower, passion fruit may pop. Hello, Haney. Just came in to say hi. I've been up since 4 a.m. Yeah. Did your kids go to school this morning, or was the school closed? Everything was closed here in New Brunswick. Fruiting compound cuttings. Awesome.
Yeah, MB Heritage takes a gallon jar and just fills it with willow branches, the weeping willow branches, and then they use it for when they transplant their garden stuff. They put a little bit of that water in the bottom, and it cuts down on the transplant shock.
And you're right, Roberta. Danny from Cajun Hydroponics told me the same thing. He told me that grapes, the trees, require a lot of fertilizer. They need very, very rich soil. Um, I will definitely look into that in the spring if anything I have survived. If not, I will try to get some more cuttings because I have two coworkers that has them, and I can pretty much get cuttings as much as I want. So I will try that again.
Wendy transplanted some rose plants from actually it was from state land. We weren't supposed to take it, but at the house in Port Leyden, and it's trying to take over everything. I got to cut them back with the chainsaw, and but we get rose hips from that every year.
Yeah, I guess when it starts producing, it produces very well.
Yeah.
So schools were open. Okay. Yeah, I hope you get some sleep too. I will go get some sleep soon. I'm yawning. Uh, my my girlfriend gets up a little bit earlier than me, and this morning the phone rang. Uh, I'd say 10 minutes before 6 to tell us the schools were closed. It's like, come on, let us sleep. If the schools are closed, let us sleep.
Right.
But I usually get up about 40 minutes later. It's not that bad, but it's a good 40 minutes where you can stay in bed longer and
See, I'm
rest
the
your
type of guy.
eyes.
I have 10-minute snooze on my phone, and I can hit the snooze button, and then when the alarm goes off, it's just like waking up for the first time. I don't really wake up to hit the snooze button, which is dangerous because then you end up hitting it 3 or 4 times, and that's 30 or 40 minutes that you're sleeping in.
I used to be the kind of guy that my clock would ring, my alarm would go off, and I would hit the snooze button. Like I would purposely set it up like 40 minutes before I had to get up, so I would just wake up, snooze it, and snooze a little bit longer.
Mhm.
But I realized that it's once you get used to getting up right away, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
And you just have to imagine you're going fishing every morning, and you're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you do that, you're good.
Yeah.
Yes, Andy, 40 minutes is important.
My stepfather, he would always stand at the bottom of the stairs and he'd say, "Okay, time for school." And it would be hard to get me up, and he could never understand if he stood at the bottom of the stairs and said, "Hey, let's go hunting, son." I would be up and dressed in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it's not the same thing for some reason. If I go
Yeah.
fishing, I could be up 4:30. I'll be up and boom, ready to go. And even if I like when I went deer hunting, usually get up around 4:30, leave around 5 a.m. and would drive there and it'd be great. I'd be feeling great. But if I get up like before 7 to go to work, it's like, oh, I want to get more
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah.
All right, Roberta, thank you very much for stopping by. I'm actually going to go too. It's been nice. Thank you for being here with me, Tracy.
Absolutely. I love it.
Yeah, me too. It's easier to have someone up here.
And I just want to throw it out there. Annie needs watch hours still.
Yes.
It's a rolling thing, and I've experienced it too. I had um, a video. I got a bunch of watch hours off a video I posted apparently about 67 days ago. And when that drops off, I went down like 40 some hours. I'm like, what? I'm supposed to be going up.
Yeah. Lately I haven't been posting much, and my watch time went from like 500 hours a month down to like 250.
Yeah.
Uh, it happens, but yeah, you're right. If you have a chance, if you're watching the replay or if you're in a chat right now, Back to Basics Homestead, she's so close to being monetized. Um, give her some watch time. Watch a few
Yeah.
videos, a few live streams, a few playlists, and give her some love. Give her some support. She deserves it and she needs it. And yeah, I'm going to do everything we can to help her out. Watching here after this. Awesome.
Sweet.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. I will see you on the 25th, I guess. Take care.
Have a good one, Remy.
You too.